3 games down and another one on the cards. It is the battle of the X's next with xTc taking on exDee. But to hear more, let's go to our expert panel to discuss what's going on in this next match. Over to you guys.
Thank you, Gareth, and Battle of the X's. I might as well introduce myself. Wilson, Triple XL, Snare, and Succubus, and they are the brains behind the operation here. Now, xTc versus xDee.
Yes, this is, personally, I think I'm a little bit, like, this is my second favorite matchup. The previous game, I don't think they can top that, but this is the game where, I don't know, xDee drafts weirdly, so actually they could. Like this,
I had a chat with Ridditz,
Yeah.
a little-known chat with Ridditz, just moments ago, where he was like, you guys are in for something really special. Apparently, they have prepped themselves up the wazoo for this tournament.
Yeah, they've got a draft for the Radiant, the draft for the Dyne. If that doesn't work, they've got 6 counter drafts and 6 different heroes of the same playstyle for every single ban or pick that they could possibly muster from the enemy teams. So we'll see what happens, but interesting. It's interesting.
I think the way that you get around that is xTc just ban Meepo.
Yeah.
It takes out like everything. But like on the real way, I do think that xDee have shown a tendency normally to actually go for the stranger picks and to not be afraid to experiment, to not be afraid to do pretty much whatever they feel requires being done.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they're a team that if they see a hero, they don't think, can we play it? Their first question is the hero good? And if the answer is yes, then like, we'll figure out a way to make it work. And they always do that. Well, so I'm looking forward to see how they do in that regard.
Well, let's give you guys a glimpse of what xDee looks like. And I'm certain it goes without saying, just from that little short snippet, you can see there are a bunch of young guys with oh so much heart. And you know who that reminds me of? Actually, I'm just going to throw that to you.
Yeah.
Who does that remind you of?
WRG, it really does. And I was going to say that they have the potential to be WRG in the next 2 years. And not just that, it's because TKC, 17 years old, brilliant player. I mean, he sometimes scares me. He's dead quiet, so focused. You never see him flinch. And
under the good guidance and tutelage of
old man Rockley, yeah. Best IO player in SA, just want to put that out there. No, but honestly, this team has, out of all the teams that are here, they are the youngest on most sides, except for the Rockley, obviously. But they have a lot of room for growth, and they've got a lot of potential. And they really want it. I mean, Hunter's one of the cockiest players I know. He's so arrogant, but it's the arrogant players that generally do well. I mean, Castaway, when he came onto the scene, he was also one of the most arrogant people I knew in the scene, but look at him. He's like, I might, in the back of mind, you're like, no, I'm not going to beat that guy, but in the back of their mind, they're like, I'm going to beat you because I am better than you, even if they're not. That's their playstyle, it's mentality.
Well, they're going to be banging heads with the boys who came second in the last VS Gaming Dota 2 tournament. Let's take a glimpse into the life of xTc. And there you have them, a motley bunch of mercenaries, if I've ever seen them. They've kind of composed of different players from different teams with different philosophies towards Dota, right?
Yeah, xTc was actually this kind of team that for a long time they weren't necessarily known as a top team in Dota. It's been a while, like a couple of years back they were, but then things changed, like their fortunes changed. But then since the last roster shuffle where they got Adastam after he left APG, magically things just started working out for them. They got Adastam, they got Depi, and things just looked so good for them. Like from then, like it seems like any given tournament, you can never have a conversation about the top 3 without at least mentioning xTc. And even for their positions and for their players, you're like, well, okay, Depi is really, like Depi, for example. I think that with the exception of TKC, probably easily the best mid laner in the country. Like obviously, Castaway is somewhere off by himself.
I just want to throw this out there. Depi actually, on a few matches that we've seen and casted, that he actually beats Castaway mid on last hits, on mechanically, and the only differences between Castaway supports are just much better. they don't look after Depi when he's in trouble, and they always TP in a bit too late, or they're somewhere else where they shouldn't be. So Castaway's just got much better support behind him. But 1v1 situations, Depi tends to win about 40% of the time against Castaway. It's the only guy mid that I've seen in South Africa that can truly contest him. So I mean, Depi for me is literally on par with that type of level of play.
So I think how does the side of xDee deal with that? I mean, we're talking about someone who can potentially take down the very best mid South Africa has ever produced.
But TKC is also equally just as good.
I think you just draft. Like the xDee is gonna when xDee wins games, right? It's normally they beat you out of the box, so they're gonna beat you by drafting something that you honestly could not have prepared for, a strat that you just not prepared for, and then when you're on the back foot already from minute 0, suddenly the rest of the game goes in their direction in that way. I think xDee tends to do a lot worse when the drafts are predictable, whereas xTc do really well in very stable, predictable games where there's not a lot of variables in the equation. I think xTc does a lot better there. Yeah. Like xTc is weird though, because every time I see xTc on paper, right, I can't think of a better team.
Yeah.
Like besides WRG, but like just looking at them on paper, you're like, this is the best team like that you want to put. But it doesn't always seem to mesh perfectly. And they've been doing really well though. This is not to like disparage the results, but sometimes it feels like they should be more dominant than they actually are right now, which is something that they probably need to work on. We know there've been rumors and talk in the air of like them having internal roster issues, some players wanting to leave.
So they're a bit brittle, would you say?
A little bit brittle, but very, very strong. They're like, don't imagine that you can break them easily. Like you're gonna get hurt before you can break them yourself. So
sounds like quenched steel. Well, definitely. And I mean, you know Adaston fairly well. He's maybe not the star player. Depi certainly.
I think they complement each. I think that's the thing is about xTc that Snare's also trying to get is they all complement each other. There's no actual star within xTc. They're all very good players and they gel well together. But
is xTc looking to win this one? I mean, they came second in the last one.
Of course, they came second in the last one. But unexpectedly, everyone thought Energy was going to come second, and lo and behold, xTc did.
There's a little bit of bad blood now.
just a tad. But honestly, TKC, I would put him on par with Depi, but as terms of experience, I think TKC needs another year before he can really compete with the big boys. But I will never discount him because some of the moves that he pulls on, especially Puck, just like how do you pull that off? Like that guy is exceptionally good, and to think that he's only 17 years old he's playing against guys that have, way more years experience, more time in Dota, and he's just exceptional. But when it comes to xTc, I don't think there is a star player as such. I really feel like they just complement each other. But hopefully, as we say, that we are hearing these rumors.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't affect them here at this LAN.
Yeah, I think they have the mental fortitude to decide to win anyway.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, we might not be a team here purely at our own discretion. There might be other factors keeping us together, but the fact is we're together. And we're going to win and lose together. There's nothing much we can do about that.
Well, yeah, I guess the argument is, does a band of mercenaries perform better because they get paid by performance?
I mean, band of mercenaries came second at CTICC. Yeah, so
there you go. There you have it.
This could work out for them.
You're going to get letters.
Money can be a really powerful motivator.
Yeah, it's true.
I think
it can be, but
doesn't winning this game guarantee you 7K up from the loser of this game?
Yeah, pretty much.
The 7th, 8th teams get 27,000, and then
it is a bit more. It is a bit more change to deal with, but I think it's more of not so much of an ego thing, but more pride and proving to the South Africa that like we are the best, and proving to the rest of the world, people that are watching internationally, like, hey, we're here. We're also good. We can do this, and putting your best performance on a LAN in front of the entirety of the community is also a thing to consider, and it's also a lot of pressure at the same time. But I don't think they're just going to lose a game because they're not gelling together as a team or they've got some conflict. I think they put that aside for a LAN, especially with that amount of experience.
They're professionals.
They're professionals. When it comes down to the end of the day, they are professional.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I mean, we've glossed over the fact that there's 550,000 Rand up for grabs, but other than that, the real question is which of these teams would perform better in the lower bracket? Because that's when the pressure's on. I mean, you lose that, you're done.
I would rather be xTc in the lower bracket because xDee, the fact that they're very versatile and the fact that they have strats prepared for every conceivable situation, right, does mean that it's a double-edged sword, because yes, it makes you very powerful, very unpredictable, very hard to deal with, but sometimes you can out-mind game yourself and end up in a situation where you end up losing games that you really shouldn't in the lower bracket. Then you end up getting knocked out of the tournament. You're like, wow, what just happened? Whereas xTc, like, strikes me as they've always been the more solid team. Like, if they get pushed on the back foot, they're not going to try and do something truly out of the box to get out. They're going to be like, okay, guys, we know the path to victory. Let's follow it. Yeah. Let's not try and deviate. Let's not try to be clever. Let's not try to be smart. They're more experienced than xDee. So xDee they're a bunch of kids, right? They're very young players, so they still have that curiosity, that sort of like flair. But xTc are going to decide, all right, guys, we're professional mercenaries. Like I said, like, we're on the back foot. We're going to shoot our way out of it. We're not going to try and knife it.
I'll tell you what. There's two people sitting in the booth at the moment who I'm sure have got a few words to say on this. Casters, what do you think?
Thanks very much, guys. Well, what do we have to say about it? I say that this is going to be something pretty special either way. xDee as well as xTc have actually quite an interesting history, but definitely a case of both these sides very hungry for the win here. I think xTc, you guys call them mercenaries on the panels. I can dig that. They probably haven't quite been as close-knit a team as we have seen in the past. I'm not sure how much detail we'll go into that, but they certainly are very independently powerful players and can tussle with the best of them. And as for xDee, they are the new kids on the block. They're working hard. They're very, very impressive as a squad. I think they can be quite a handful.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be considered, or don't want to be called the underdogs of this matchup against xTc. Mainly because, although it's a best of one, go pocket straight, maybe you can beat xDee. I don't think it's like that. I think xDee has, come across as confident coming into the matchup, and against xTc, I think they can win it. I mean, you don't have to go for a Jakira pick or going for cheesy strats like an IO. I think they can do whatever they want. Like Hunter Meepo, it's possible.
Well, the thing is, okay, that's going to be interesting because we haven't actually seen the Hunter Meepo in really long. We always talk about the Hunter Meepo.
Yeah, like the Maid tournament.
But I mean, perhaps if there was a time to have the Hunter Meepo, it would be this time around. But will they use against xTc? Is it worth the ban? I mean, there's a time when people were banning out the Hunter Meepo every single matchup.
Yeah.
But they've stopped that because, well, he's not picking up the Hunter Meepo anymore.
Yeah.
But then again, does he pick it up at the Masters? Is something he's completely abandoned? Are we going to have a surprise? Time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one. It's a best of one. So I think they're going to play something different, like go towards, let's say, instead of banning out Night Stalker, for example, because it's in the meta, we ban out Hunter's Meepo, just to be safe. That's what I think xTc would be doing. But, they have their own strats as well. Like xTc could have, let's say, Adestam play what Ardigate played. Go with a Morphling, go with something strong like a Lycan, for example, and then play, just get the whole farming game up, and then, have Depi still going into the mid lane and take his TA, for example, and then just, go all out with it.
Cool. Well, I think it's time for us to toss back to the panel for a little bit. But I think we're really looking forward to this one, guys.
You and me both, Albert. You and me both. And of course, joined by these guys.
And we're just here for decoration, I guess. Then, huh?
Just here to eat my food.
That I'm really looking forward to, honestly. I'm looking forward to seeing. I hope xTc has first pick, right? Because if they have first pick, then they have to make the decision. No, I hope xDee has first pick. Sorry, so that xTc must decide: are we banning Meepo or not? Because I think that's the overall. Most teams are going to have to consider. Okay, xDee has Meepo. They have a really strong Meepo player. That's something that you have to
like
do.
Banning an RDK Morphling.
Yeah, you have to do it. Like, one of the important things that you have to do in Dota is you have to think about, firstly, your strategies. Like what Reddit was mentioning about how he's prepared for this team. You have to think about your strategies that you want to use, how they work against the enemy strategies, how to counter it. Like, having a sort of draft board is something that you really have to do. You have to try and, it's like detective work, figuring out how to draft in Dota. Some players do it by intuition, but it's also good to have it on paper to know what you're going to do ahead of time. So Meepo, for me, that's the crucial thing. Because if xTc don't ban Meepo, right, there's no guarantee 100% that xDee will pick it, right? But now it's in the game. It's still available. And that changes the entire direction of how xTc is supposed to draft. But if they don't ban it, it means they're confident enough that even if Hunter picks Meepo, they feel they can beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the only thing is when people do pick Meepo, they kind of tend to overdraft against the Meepo, and then they tend to leave the other heroes out of it. So it's just like we focus on Meepo, but then sure, TKC Storm Spirit or Puck is getting massive, and then therefore create space for the Meepo to do. And Meepo's going to get farmer levels no matter how many times you kill him. It's one of those heroes, and you can play even if you. I mean, we saw. I remember Muzzy picking a Meepo into a Sven. I was like, what the hell are you doing, dude? And he still won that game because he played it a certain way. Now, Meepo is versatile like that. You can do that. But it is risky to not ban out that Meepo because it is Hunter Meepo. And that's how he literally spammed Meepo in ranked. And he won almost every game with it. And he got good with it. But he is good with other heroes. Juggernaut, I've seen him play a couple of times. He's good at Sven. You know, it's just... There's the other heroes that he can pick that are good in the current meta as well. So, I mean, focusing all your efforts just to banning out one player on the team is, for me, never a good idea. Because then you're going to give them bristleback IO, for instance. You know, it's just, there's other things to consider. xDee are very versatile.
There is, of course, the factor that this is a best of one. It's all or nothing. You win this, or you're in the loser bracket, and then you've got a long, long way to go to see that final cup fall down.
I think the one thing that's going to be of losing.
Well, no. What's the effect on the draft? Best of one. A lot of teams like to pull out cheese strats, that sort of stuff. I don't see this happening yet.
It also does give you greater credence for Meepo also in the best of one. Because if you can think about it from xTc's position, right? You don't want to be the guys that lose a game because you didn't last ban Meepo or didn't first ban Meepo, and then you lose specifically because of Meepo. There's some games that you lose because there's a Meepo in the game. There's other games where it's Meepo that won you the game. Like, I think the best example is that Ian Bravado matchup. I can't, with the exception of maybe Anti-Mage, I think they lose 99% of the time with any other hero except Morphling. Morphling is the reason why they won that game with RDK in it. So Morphling...
Or Anti-Mage.
Or Anti-Mage, yeah. And then Meepo has that kind of effect as well, where there are games you lose specifically because there's this hero in it. So what do you do now? Do you make the decision that we don't want to get out-Meepo'd, we don't want to get out-morphed, but we don't want to overly focus on it, like Sakibus was saying. So it's a really difficult calculation to make. That's why I really want to see what they do. The first two bans from xTc and their first pick will tell us everything we need to know about how they tend to want to approach this game.
There's also one guy I really do want to discuss, and that's Japper, one of the most consistent players in Dota.
Of course.
And you give him the Darkseer, he can do absolute wonders on that hero as well.
We'll see what magic that they can muster. It's Darkseer in particular is very, very challenging. I've tried him once or twice myself, and I've always managed to muck it up. But the draft is ready for them. We'll see what the Masters can weave in terms of magic here.
I don't think they're going to ban Meepo.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I think when you ban Nightstalker, what you normally ban either...
Like Halbert said, I mean, you're usually afraid of the Meepo and Hunter, but he's never picking it anyway. Maybe that's the mind trick that they're playing. Maybe they're actually going to pick a Meepo for once. Yeah. We get to witness the glory of micromanagement.
Banning out the Nightstalker, it's a bit obvious, but also banning out one of the heroes that Fury and Rock Leap do play well on. Shame Fury's probably going to get Crystal Maiden again, knowing his high hero pool of one, But Rock Lee is really good and efficient on Ricky, so it's interesting to see them ban it.
Them banning Ricky gives me, and I think they're going to pick Meepo, because this is a hero that's super good against Meepo in the early game with the smoke cloud. Makes it very hard for Meepo to actually do anything. You just kind of stalk around the main one, wait for him to try to poof out, you silence him, you kill him. But Rasta banned from xTc, so they want Spirit Breaker. They want Spirit Breaker or Coddle. Let's see if xDee are willing to let them have it. But clearly they're fine. They're allowing them to go for...
There goes the Earthshaker as well. Thank goodness.
This is Meepo.
Yeah, this has to be.
That's a good setup for Meepo. Based on the chat we had with Riddits earlier, they said if they ban X and Y, they didn't tell me what X and Y was. But if they ban X and Y, then we've got these two pocket strats we can try. So I guess Meepo's one of the X's.
I think it is. Well, from xTc, what I'd really like to see, I'd like to see them pick like Clockwork or Bad Rider in the first two here. I think these are both heroes that can actually sort of deal with Meepo at some stages of the game, especially before he has himself the sheepstick. And more importantly, these are heroes that can also do really well in the laning phase. Like, I think xTc winning is going to depend a lot on how they do in the lanes, because I think xDee's coordination in the mid game is super strong.
Yeah, but also teams tend to do this a lot as well as a strategy. bait bans out. So it looks like they're going to pick a Meepo, but maybe they're trying to get xTc to ban out the Meepo as a bait ban, so then they don't have to. Oh, but here, never mind.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm
but
not surprised by this
yeah, neither am I, but I'm saying that it has been a strategy in the past where people bait ban you to, thinking you're going to pick a certain hero when you're not.
Yeah.
But first pick, guys?
Yeah.
First pick Meepo?
Honestly, if you're going to pick Meepo,
You're brave.
You need to have a chin the size of an iceberg to have basically the kahunas to go in there and say, yeah, this is our strat, bring it.
Yeah.
I think they're both trying to bait xTc into overly focusing the Meepo, but also at the same time, you don't want to take the risk of them banning the Meepo second phase when you've drafted in mind of having a Meepo in the game. But xTc responded amazingly to this Meepo. Getting Clockwork Waven, the reason I was hoping that they would pick Clockwork first is, again, that's a hero that's very good against Meepo, just in the middle of the team fights. But if you can trap a couple of Meepos, even two of them inside the power cogs, that's like a large amount of the Meepo's damage that's gone. Even if Clockwork dies in that situation, it's not that bad because you still have the team fight advantage until the positioning.
But this is where I think Jappa is going to get his Darkseer, because whenever you see them pick a Clockwork, he kind of does the Darkseer play where he turns his own team's cogs against them. So Clockwork would get a good initiation, and then the rest of the team would follow suit. Jappa waits for the right opportunity, blinks in, does a vacuum, and then therefore they're all stuck in their own cogs.
Yeah.
So it's essentially turning Clockwork against the enemy team.
Yeah.
So it's a really good. I mean, Jappa's great at doing that, but the Silencer's job is going to be
not fun.
Not fun. He's going to have to ulti at the right times here.
So the thing about also this Waven that I really like, having the Winter's Curse is one of the important ways to actually deal with Meepo. Yeah, in the earlier portions of the game. I mean, the only time Meepo's been banned is like 3 times. It's all been against xDee. So very rarely is it banned out. And I think they probably, they haven't played with it for a while, like in officials, people don't allow them to have it. So, but I honestly think that like this is going to be a game. Them picking Silencer give me an implication that they're going to be trying to play a 4 fighting game and then leave Hunter to do whatever he wants to on the Meepo. Like they don't want to rely purely on the Meepo to be able to win.
You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember that meme picture where the whole team went Lincoln Sphere and just put all the Lincolns on Meepo and it's like, come at me, bro.
It's like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Pick one. Yeah. Venge. That's something we haven't actually seen in a little while.
This is actually pretty good because what you can do is you can use the swap to save somebody once they get Winter's Curse. If you're far enough out of range and you don't get caught yourself inside the curse, you can swap someone out.
Yeah, the level 1 swap is not great, but once it gets level 2, level 3, I mean, you can literally swap that Meep out and you're good. Yeah.
xTc though, xTc need a little bit more damage at this point because they're relying a lot on being able to plink down heroes slowly but surely with their lineup so far. So they need something with some burst. Like Shadow Shaman would have been great, but maybe if they go, I would like to see if they go Earth Spirit. I think that's an amazing hero versus Meepo, but I'm not sure if xTc are that comfortable playing the hero. I haven't actually seen Dota and Die nor Doom Bunny play it in quite some time.
Yeah, it is quite a tricky hero if I'm not mistaken. It's about 60 buttons you have to press within about 2 seconds.
The problem is that there's maybe 1 or 2 players in South Africa that can actually play that hero properly. But what I am sad to see go is the TKC puck. I was looking forward to seeing a TKC puck.
Oh, I'm glad that's gone. Like
I'm not.
I've seen so many pucks. Every game I keep losing to pucks. It's not fun.
But they are doing their best to ban.
This is what I was looking for. A lovely Centaur War Runner joins the fray for the side of XD Dota.
Look, it's going to help with the ulti, with the Meepo, to reduce the damage for him, but I feel like Slark does a better job, especially the roaming duo of Slark Venge. You can't get any better. That armor reduction, it's an instant pick-off with those 2 heroes rotating around.
Like, I do think Slaughter is normally better in these initiating situations, but I think this game I'd rather have the Centaur, just because like Stampede is really good just to get Meepo in position. Like he doesn't have to rely on the poof to get forward anymore.
You think Rush Aghanims then?
Yeah, is this?
I don't even think you need the Aghs. I think it's more about the movement speed buff. So what you do is that like you Stampede, then the Meepo can kill somebody and then poof out instead of the other way around where you have to poof in, but then you're kind of vulnerable to being counterattacked.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they are playing against Underlord, which is a massive route, which is a problem for multiple heroes trying to get into position.
Yeah.
This is also really good for xTc because now they have some deep push, because a lot of games you lose against Meepo, they just, by 25 minutes, you've lost all your outer towers and you don't know what happened. But having a hero like Underlord, like constant firestorm damage, is also really good against Meepo. It scales to how many heroes are caught inside it.
Look, so I like xTc's draft at the moment, but my problem is they're lacking a lot of damage. They've got a lot of sustain and some lockdown, but they have no damage dealer at the moment. Here comes the Necro, also good against Meepo.
It's good against Meepo, good against Centaur.
Good against anyone. I mean, it's a Necro.
This is the danger of picking up a Meepo first. I mean, everything that's coming out here is I'll take on a Meepo. Why not? The big question I have for myself is, will we finally get to see an Underlord keeping up with the mobility, the global mobility of the Meepo here?
I don't think he needs to. I think the only thing that you need Underlord for is just to be able to. You need him firstly just to be able to stop the Meepo push. But secondly, if you see Meepo split pushing, right, then that's one of the few heroes that can get your entire team to where the Meepo is and actually kill him. Like, you don't have to keep up with him all the time. It'll be similar to what we saw last game. Just as long as you can find key situations to pick off this Meepo, that's good enough usage of the ultimate.
Because ordinarily, I mean, you TP one at a time and Meepo just blows you up as you come in.
Pretty much, yeah.
But Underlord allows you to bring in the entire crew and then blow the Meepo up.
I'm liking this last ban from xDee. I mean, snipers, generally you do tend to draft that against a Meepo as well, because inevitably maybe one will get away and on this much HP and then you get the headshot, you know? So, yeah, they are doing their best to draft against it. Let's be honest, they ban out the Invoker, the Riki, the Earthshaker, the Sven, and now the Sniper. So they have done what they could to help Hunter's situation in picking a Meepo first.
And that final ban from the side of xTc, beautifully placed.
Yeah, it would have been
amazing here.
Pretty great.
We got heal from Nicker, you got heal from Winterwave, and all negated just by one hero. So
I think xTc pick anti-mage. Like if they get anti-mage here, sure that there's some ways to catch him. Oh, troll. This also works as well. You need basically what you need is a hero that can solo kill one of the Morphling or one of the Meepos, like that you guarantee that no matter where he is, even if he's alone on the map, he confidently fight. Like once troll, one of the good things about troll versus Meepo, if you use the whirling axes, after Meepo's already poofed in, or if you have BKB as troll, Meepo actually does 0 damage to you because all of his like attacks go through you, so you can actually bash kill a Meepo.
RNG
there
bash,
might be a trap here laid for us and for the side of xTc. Because we're all thinking Meepo, but they still have another sucker punch left on the final pick of the draft.
Yeah, they need a hero which can actually kill troll. I don't know, they need him, like they're picking for their mid now, right? Because they've got their support duo.
Are we going to see a Storm Spirit is my question.
I hope not. Storm can get crushed by Clockwork, and Winterwave can also put him in a bad trap. But at the same time, like if the Storm is able to have a really good game and is able to consistently fight against enemy team, he could go ham. I'd rather see like
is the name of the game these days.
Yeah. I'd rather see
maybe an OD as well. They could work. A Viper.
This is even better, actually. Like all you need from xDee right now, you just need a hero that's not going to lose the game for you while Meepo actually gets the Psalm. So
the dreaded mid of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, he can arrest you without even drawing creep aggro. So I mean. And
one of the few heroes that like can destroy his Necro and pure 1v1.
Yeah,
so
pretty much. Yeah.
I really like this xDee draft.
Yeah, it is good. It's very good. I'm just worried about this Meepo as well. I know we're focusing on him, but I mean, there's a lot of things here.
Yes. But given that we have precious few moments, I need predictions. Quick ones.
xTc.
Why?
xTc.
Quick.
xTc Clockwork, while we haven't too good against Meepo.
And you?
xTc just because they're the more experienced and consistent team.
A band of mercenaries.
No, they really are. They're the most experienced and consistent team, but I do feel like xDee have the potential to beat them in a 1v1, in a best of 1. In a best of 3, I would say xDee goes to them, but I mean, xDee have the stones to take this as well.
Yeah. Well, knowing what I know, I'm going to go with xDee. And I'm not telling anyone what I know.
In Reddit, you trust.
But, let's see what happens, as I'm sure Halberd is ready to rear and go and take a look at that game. Over to you.
Thanks very much, guys. I think if you're trusting Reddit, though, you're making some bold moves there. That's a very, let's say, chaotic individual. So if he's hit or miss, and when he hits hard, man. When he misses, it can be by a landslide too. But I tell you one thing. I don't think you would be wise at all to count out xDee. I've been talking about that. I've been asking for it. And the last VS Masters, I said I want to see the Hunter Meepo. We're going to get to see the Hunter Meepo at the greatest stage of them all. And if there's ever a time for it to come through, if there's ever a time for that Meepo to break some hearts, so right about now, Reigns.
It has to be the best of 1, winner brackets, round 1, right? So yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting one with both sides. Obviously both being solids with their roles, with the picks. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah,
so it's quite a start here. Both teams actually smoked up very early on, getting some wall placements across the map. I don't know if we'll see any... yes, the perfect time for reports. This time, I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and use this opportunity to introduce the players. So I'll go ahead and start off with the side from xTc. So we'll be Dota and Die on the Clockwork. The Pit Lord will be played by Scarnet. Over on the Troll Warlord, it will be Adestam. The Necrophos will be handled by Deppy. And last but not least, it will be Doom Bunny on the Winter Waven. Over to Reigns and the side of xDee.
Yeah, with Meepo will be played by none other than Hunter. xTc will be playing Viper, Jappa on the Centaur Warrunner, Rock Lee, the Vengeful Spirit support, as well as Silencer. It will be played by Fury.
Well, it's getting to rumble. I mean, I gotta say, like, these games can't take long enough, or they can't start fast enough, right? Because we're going to have the laning stage, and everything's going to be chill, and these guys are going to be having a little bit of fun with hitting some creeps. We're going to get some right-click action going on.
Still being smoked
Hunter's going to be killing some neutrals, and that's what we can expect. And then at some point, craziness is going to happen. And I will say at least once, Doom Bunny is going to ask Meepo why he keeps hitting himself. But let's take a moment to reflect on why we're here. Of course, we are here for the VS Gaming Dota 2 Masters, and I guess I like to make these little appeals to the audience and people out there. If you want to be here one day, you should head over to the VS Gaming website yourself. You'd sign up for their leagues and see the one that you can be the next Hunter, maybe rocking your signature hero on the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, because it's possible, right? They've got Hunter. Yeah, he's actually pretty confident with Fury. I think Fury's Silencer and Hunter's Meepo could work out really well against the Underlord. It's mostly because it's solo, for instance. He's going to need to get back there. He's got his heals, though. He's going to need to be more defensive in the early lanes. And then that actually relies on xTc's safe lane as well as the mid. We've seen Necrophos played once on Pulse, and we've seen the Viper being played by Sinister 5 earlier in the day, and now we're playing, and now we're seeing them against each other. So it's going to be a tough one. Both early game heroes. I think Deppy might struggle a bit earlier, but until he gets to maybe level 2 or 3, he can be a bit more stable.
Yeah, I gotta say the Viper mid is going to be a little bit of a common denominator in these matchups. I'm sad to see it. I want to support Viper. I know that nobody cares for it. It's not going to happen, but that would be a lot more interesting than this one. And the top lane, they do in fact open up for the magic missile. It's going to be able to walk this one off. Rock Lee only really has 2 or 3 of those in him, so he has the 2 clarities. He's got to be careful not to waste it. But Hunter also just juking around with the pounce as well, or the poof, excuse me. Jeff on the bottom lane, he's probably going to have a pretty decent time about the Centaur Warren is like hard to take down. And Winter Waven, although he can do a lot of damage, he's got to get the... He's pretty much got to be in a position where he can ensure the kill with Dota and Dire's cogs, or he's just going to walk away from them. The moment he starts walking away from them, he's going to get the level advantage, and he's going to be A-okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one for the Centaur Warren. Just as tough as the Underlord, though. I mean, they just need to be pushed back, and then although they're melee heroes, they can't really do anything until the waves goes towards them, and that's not likely going to be happening all the time. So with the pulling and stuff from the Winter Wyvern, it's going to be a tough one for Jappa, actually being taken upon right now from Doom Bunny.
Once again, this is my issue with Winter Waven as well, is that very high mana cost for his spells, and although you can deal a lot of damage, when you waste it, if you don't get that kill, you're investing quite a bit. Jappa actually interferes with the pull over here, gets nothing actually, because Doom Bunny interferes, and the creep's going back. So the creeps are undecided where they'll be, but we do see they open up here. Jappa taking quite a bit of damage here just from Adestam, and Doom Bunny coming on the side. Jappa actually wants a piece of this. Maybe we'll take a look at him, but look at the damage done by return to Adestam. I mean, that does kind of hurt actually. So he was pretty happy to take them, man. He just want to make sure he didn't get slowed up or anything.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Just going back into mid lane, where CTICC just got his boots of speed. That's going to help him quite a bit. He's going to be able to take him back.
Bottom lane, Jappa could be the first blood here. And he does get the stun off onto Don't Die, but fortunately for him, the rocket barrage was still there in securing that kill. So Jappa, first one down. Now let's talk about that for a moment, because Jappa is kind of the guy you turn to if you're in xDee sport and say, he sets the tone. So this death here that we're seeing again in the bottom lane, this is a big deal because Jappa is now behind, friends.
Yeah, that is a really much of a loss over there by Jappa. I mean, he's already suffering from not getting enough creep kills, not getting the EXP there as well, being pulled by the Radiant side. But with the death there as well, first blood given, that's going to be a tough one right now for the offlane for xDee.
Yeah, and once again, one of the things we've heard from Reddit and the squad over the past couple of months is that they create space for Jupper. He's one of the guys that they want to see do well.
Yeah.
And if he's not doing well, and he is now in a little bit of trouble once more, and Don't Die, he's going to get out there once again. Nice time on the hoof stomp. We'll buy him time. Don't Die, does he still want to piece this? No, he does not. Going to back off. I think maybe a little bit fortuitous for him that Adestam was actually back farming. He wasn't too interested in going for that kill. If he had been up there to follow up with a little bit of slow, a little bit of extra damage, they may have in fact decided it was worthwhile chasing him down underneath that tower.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the hoof stomp was timely done as well with the clockwork. If he had the battery assault on, I think Adestam would have made it on time in order to get the kill. But yeah, well played on Japa for that one.
Yeah, he's gonna spend a little bit of time in the jungle as well now, so thinking about where next he can get his farm from. But as far as his last hits go, he's actually ahead of the Pit Lord on the other side of the map. But Scarnet, without that death, he's probably going to be a little bit better for where... Oh, cheeky. Rock Lee goes in, snatches the Bounty Rune from underneath his head.
Yes, pretty much so. So just suffering in the off lane for xTc side. I mean, he's doing okay, just getting the steady EXP, sitting on level 3. I can't say it's too good, but you know, he's just getting what he gets. Tries to, you know, maybe invade the jungle a little bit. Yeah, just getting it there, and hopefully he gets the EXP for some of these creeps.
Rock Lee wants this. Doesn't manage to pick him off. There's also support Doom Bunny in this round here. Has got Splinter Blast and Arctic Burn, so he doesn't have too much defense. But worth pointing out there's quite a bit of heal available between that combination, so it's hard to bring on. Jump in the bottom lane though. He does go toe to toe with that. As down on the sidelines, Don't Die thinks better of it, will back off. On top lane, we get something out there? No? Hunter and friends? And by Hunter and friends, I mean Hunter and Hunter. He's got his first meepo up already.
Yeah, 2 of them. Scarnet just, you know, was trying to farm up that jungle creeps over there, but, you know, nonetheless, Hunter going in and then making sure that he gets the rest of it. Yeah, but nothing too big. I think it's going to be a bit of a fight here from Rock Lee. Just waiting for a stun on Depi though, but CTICC realizes it's a bit too late. Just letting him farm up quite a bit from here.
So, one thing I want to point out as well is that playing with Meepo, right, is one of those interesting environments where a lot of people see a Meepo on the team, especially in the likes of Pubby, and they'll expect certain things of Meepo, but actually a Meepo is almost a team hero. There's a lot of space that the Meepo is going to soak up, so you can't just play your regular game with it. You're going to have to operate around the Meepo, create opportunities for said Meepo to operate. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of farm, a lot of experience, and be absolutely useless because there's nobody else in this team that can back him up.
Yeah, so that relies on the supports for XD side to create that space for him in order to get farmed up, and that's not going to take as long as any other heroes, because we can see that Meepo is quite a hero that can farm up really fast, and here's Don't Die going to Jumpers.
Yeah, I think Jupp will be okay. He didn't manage to get off the hoof stomp. There was a DD Don't Die, so he was interested in it. Also, this is only level 4 Warrunner, so it's not a case where a level 3 Clockwork is going to be too terrified with DD, etc. But in the end, he is on the other side of the river. He's going to back off. Actually, TKC getting quite a bit of help here in the mid lane. I've got to say something as well, by the way. For those of you who are interested, we all talk about Castaway. We always speak about how Castaway is the mid. He's the big boy. After Scene left the scene, it was pretty much just Castaway. But you're actually seeing something pretty exciting at the same time, because Depi and TKC are probably the next 2 guys. These are the guys that are going to be chasing after Castaway's number. They're the 2 guys that are going to want a piece of him later on in this tournament. And, well, we're getting an opportunity to see them go toe-to-toe in the first round. And that, I think, is in its own right pretty special.
TKC is actually doing really well right now. I mean, just dominating with the last hits, denies. I think that actually made the Necrophos suffer a little bit from there, but he's going to the jungle, also getting some stacks in for himself. So DP sitting on level 7. It's not so bad, 7 minutes in. Could be better, but you know, if you play against an early hero like the Viper, especially with the Vengeful Spirit with him as well, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, top lane, do they want this? They're going to net out, they're going to get the root out. However, Hunter wants to follow up, wants to poof. He's going to poof twice, so they're going to bring down Scarnet. And there's your first kill, there's your first Meepo kill you've probably seen in a while. But they're going to chase him afterwards, and the root is there. And there, the ulti from Depi. Cheers and goodbye, friend. They still want a piece of Fury. Don't Die wants that angle, wants to bring him down, does get off the cogs. Fury very, very low. A lot of damage coming out to Don't Die. He's trying to return, he knows he's down, so will do as much as he can. But in the end, it is a 2-for-1 exchange, and most importantly, that's a Meepo down. And if they bring the Meepo down, and he starts not getting that advantage that he needs, it can be a long day at the office for XD.
Yeah, the same for the Underlords to not get I think the xTc wants it to offlaner to be alive, wants him to do much better than the Centaur, but nonetheless, it's a good sacrifice. I mean, as you said, it's against, you get a Meepo out of that, so that's not too bad.
Mid lane, could also be a little bit of action here. We do see Skarnet making his way through there. Who would ever want to go into lane with a Viper?
That's a very hard one, eh? But Doom Bunny doing his job, making sure that the Viper goes low, and he only has one tango left. But yeah, in the early to mid game, Viper is a really, really scary hero, especially if you let him farm up. So, you know, about the next few minutes, he'll be getting his next item, and then it'll be trouble, especially for the Necrophos. Or Rock Lee going behind the Winter Wyvern in the mid lane, hoping to get something here. Initiates with a stun with Haste.
Well, they do actually toss off the Viper Strike as well. But they're just not going to get anything out of the deal. I mean, Viper Strike fortunately doesn't have a huge cooldown. It's not that expensive since Viper doesn't use too much mana in other capacities. So they kind of get away with it, but they're really just saying Doom Bunny home. He's going to be really chilled about that one, not minding too much. Hunter also still in the hunt, trying to get some action. Bottom lane though, they do want a piece of Fury again. Fury taking a lot of damage from this troll. Adestam, he's a scary individual. You don't want to give him the kind of start he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, he's got his face boots already. It's been a few minutes actually. Yeah, but you know, just farming up slowly but surely. It's not 64 last hits. I can't say it's slow, but yeah, you got to really get ahead, especially have a Meepo against you.
Oh, we'll see the smoke gang coming out. Going to be Doom Bunny as well as Don't Die, trying to wrap around. They obviously have the Troll Warlord in lane, so they're looking for anything they can get. They could rope around on TKC. It looks like the most interesting one in, but this double TP is coming in. Rock Lee caught out here, trying to get back up. There's the ulti coming from the center war, and Fury also in support to Doom Bunny, trying to help out the friend Jappa, already stuck in things. He just wants out now. Can they bring anything down? They will get the magic missile out, but Call Embrace comes out, help out Don't Die. Now Adestam pushes forward. It's going to be 2-0 in the end.
Oh, that was a great kill for Adestam and his friends.
Fury?
Actually getting a kill as well.
Are you,
yeah,
are you certain this is a good idea, Fury? Brought down, might actually get the cross call on Adestam. That would be worth it, and is certainly a good call in the end. Fury, take it back. That'll be worthwhile.
No, that was actually a very risky move. I mean, it could have, or Adestam would have gotten 2 kills out of that fight, and that wouldn't have worked well for XD at all. But getting a carry for a return, that's a different story.
Yeah, so I think it's time we take a quick peek at the XP and the XP and net worth. At the moment, there is an advantage to xTc, and that's going to be a big concern, because one thing you want out of your Meepo is a lead in the gold drafts. That's already a problem that xTc is going to have to resolve. As far as the experience goes, same thing. So I gotta say, it kind of feels like a little bit of like an alchemist when you look at graphs. You want to see that hero doing very well, very far ahead. The fact that he's not is very disconcerting. Don't Die in the top lane. He's hunting. He's got eyes on Hunter as well. Not the fight he wants to take alone, but he does have friends on the other side. He's going to start things out. Gets all 3 Meepos inside, and Doom Bunny gets it. Going to toss through. Call Embrace help on his buddy, and now a lot of damage coming to all the Hunters, and all the Hunters are going down, because once again, it is going to be a fantastic pick-off there. They're going to get the trade-off. They didn't manage to bring down the clockwork, but that is an exchange they are more than happy to make.
Yeah, that was pretty much a tight one. I mean, if you look at the replay, we've got Clockwork going in, like he knows where he is, so just going into it and then calling his teammates, hey, Winter Wyvern, I need you here right now as soon as possible so I could possibly live out of that. But although it was a close one, trading in for Clockwork, a Clockwork for Hunter's Meepo is definitely worth it for xTc.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's not what they need. At the moment, this Meepo is falling apart right now, but we do see the Dragonlance bull coming out on him as well. So for those newer to the game, he's after the stats, obviously, because he's not getting any range advantage with that one. But certainly the stats very, very powerful on the Meepo. We might even see the double Dragonlance. We'll see what he goes for in a minute. He does have to keep Blink Dagger actually queued up, and they're going to start moving towards the Rosh, but very, very early on. They want a piece of him, the big man, see if they can bring him down. Although, do they know? Skarnet and Deppy are right there. I want to take a look at their vision. They don't see it, but they do know that it's coming through. And they're going to get stunned out on the sideline here. Skarnet takes the first one, gets up the bit of Malice as well. Hunter is brought down again. Rock Lee wants out. Nowhere to go. Hookshot comes in. He's got bigger fish to fry. They catches out TKC. TKC nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He will be brought down as well. Almost certainly Fury can't help him up. And Fury, he wants out too now. Everyone's just dropping one at a time like flies. But Fury will manage to leg it to safety. But xD have a huge mountain ahead of them, because right now it is literally falling apart. And they picked that one, man. They saw the side of xTc coming out from behind. It didn't look like xTc knew. It looked like they just wanted to cross the map. And they end up getting caught out, or rather xTc get caught out and turn it around, pick up a couple of kills, making it look a little easy at the moment. Yeah, that was, I wouldn't say it was hindsight, but exDee saw they were coming. xTc didn't, because they smoked up, especially the Meepo and the Vengeful Spirit smoked up to get into the Roach Pit. But it does get out the Whirling Axe, though, to reduce a little bit of the damage he's taking. Can they bring this guy down? They're already committed. Rock Lee getting very, very low. Adestam wants him down. He will bring him down. Now TKC gets some help from Hunter, who's finally on the right side of the kill, but still Deppy one piece. Hunter's getting low. He's got to be very careful. He's going to try to juke around the tree line, but Scotland does have vision of him. He's going to move towards the side shop. Hunter is low. That's all his 3 Meepos. He has no way out. They know he's there. Rocket's flare is going to catch him out as well. Hunter is almost certainly going down. Hunter is down, and that is yet another kill on the Meepo. This is really, really rough. I mean, let's take a quick peek here at the actual items, see how things are going from. I think at the moment, just the Dragon Lance, as we mentioned. Anything else there that we can take out of it for the side of? I mean, he's trying to get that Blink Dagger, right? But, you know, without that, it's difficult to initiate in, and we're trying to get out of it as well. And hence, not getting
Fury,
into the trading.
He's being brought down as well.
Oh.
It's falling apart here. This is not the game that xTc wanted. They're just literally being broken at every turn at this point.
Deppy doing really well out of that early game as well. 6-0 with 3 assists. That is just harsh. I mean, Viper did so well in the beginning, and then just falling apart right now, as you said. But yeah, with the cores, the Troll Warlord, the Necrophos being there at every fight makes a huge difference, especially if you want to kill a Meepo that's, you know, almost snowballing. Almost, but not yet.
I think this is a big thing as well. You're talking about a team here that is like you're talking about snowballing, right? Meepo needs to be the one snowballing. He's not snowballing, right? But on the other side of the map, you have this Necrophos, as means Deppy, who's looking really strong. He's picked up the Veil of Discord, he's got the Rodvetos, and you go, well, he's almost undone everything that we had on the Vipers. Like, any advantage the Viper had is now lost, because TKC is well behind. He's almost 2k behind him. In fact, almost 3k behind him. It's pretty scary right now if you're an xDee fan. And once again, this is almost their go-to, right? This is what we expect from xDee. We expected them to... Oh,
that's another kill off it. The Vengeful Spirit not getting out of that tower after trying to damage it. But that's great. I mean, with the Meepo still trying to get that Blink Dagger. Oh, there's a charge coming in. I think it's just to check out Adestam. Gets the stun on Adestam. Teammate's not available right now. But see if he actually goes. I think he's able to go away. Shouldn't be a problem.
Well, he does get caught out here by the Winter Curse, but Jaffa should be brought down eventually. Root comes out from that Necrophos on the sideline. Looks like they will just be able to bash him down.
Yeah, that didn't go well for xDee at all. They tried to go for Adestam while he was alone at the bottom of the river, but in the end, just became overpowered. He's just so powerful, even with the Aegis as well. So if the Centaur did manage to kill Troll, it's going to come back. The teammates would have been there afterwards, and they would have lost the team fight anyway. So I think losing the Centaur alone, it wasn't too bad for xDee after all.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, it looks pretty terrifying. But once again, look at that goal graph. It is a case where you expect the side with the Meepo to be ahead, but they're not. They're in fact, they're being torn apart. They're losing their tier 2 here. Hunter in the top lane is trying to make some space. He's trying to find some farm, get anything out of the deal. But all 3 towers still standing right next to the river, and they're picking up their 4th already in the mid lane. So it is not just about the fact that your Meepo is behind. Where's your map control coming from?
Yeah, and that's it. Exactly what you said. xDee has the Meepo sitting at level 12, but Rock Lee just reached level 6 right now, and that's problematic. You've got the supports from the other team, xTc, having at least level 8, level 9 heroes going on and almost going towards the level 11. So with Adestam farming up like that, your supports on the other team can't really do anything to him. It's going to be troubling from here. And it's already almost 20 minutes into the game, so they're going to need to speed up with their farm.
Yeah, well, at the bottom lane, they are going to use TKC. And a little bit of beta, they're smoked up, dropping a ward as well. But it doesn't look like xDee are going to fall for it. They're just happy, content to trade off his towers. Tier 2 for tier 1, why would they not? So I don't think the smoke gank's going to work at all. They dropped the fortification, but there's no reason for them to back. Okay, hold on. There's one reason for them to back. They have a particular hero in this game that makes that all way too easy, and they go to the bot lane here. TKC, though, able to TP out. They saw the skill, they respected it, and they backed off. And in the end, they didn't even get the tier 1 exchange. They just changed. They exchanged a tier 2 tower for a pit lord LT.
Yeah, that was actually really close as well, almost catching out the Viper, just TPing out just on time before the xTc guys managed to cast any skill. But that's it, man. They've got the Viper going back into the top lane, trying to defend tower, push up, get some gold, and then while that happens, xTc goes to the bottom lane tier 2 and then tries to take out this tower, and I think it's highly possible. I don't think xD wants to rotate to the bottom lane right now to defend.
But Jackie, Brains, what do they do, man? Like, what is the go-to? Because sure you can dodge, but you're running out of objectives to defend.
Yeah, you're running out of places to dodge. Yeah, but you kind of want your xD Meepo to get somewhere. Because right now, I'm just gonna get to it quickly. Dragonlance Blink, like you can't really do anything to a Necrophos like that, or even Adestam's Troll. It's going to get to you. Winter Wyvern's always going to be there, and
catch up.
Exhibit A.
Okay, see, actually, this could turn backfire. Don't die. Got absolutely nowhere. Oh, excuse me, man. Hook shot all the way back. Going to start TPing out. Can it finish? One more hit required. Oh, it's going to go wide.
So close.
Obviously, with Viper being a Viper, that actually may have been enough. Even though he had quite a big chunk of HP, he was also missing a big chunk of HP, so probably would have been the end.
Yeah, well, hard life of clockwork. Scotty's Hands of Midas, so it's going to get somewhere with that. Get some gold. Also trying to get his, maybe it's a Soul's Cuirass. That's what you go for. But yeah, otherwise, I think xTc at this situation is that he's just farming up the whole time, especially Adestam. So with that, it's really difficult for Hunter's Meepo to catch up on it, but if you give him some time, if he's able to at least get somewhere out of that, they could do something for it. But look at the score, it's 16-4 help him. It's really close. It's not even close, I mean, in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is one-way traffic at the moment. xTc are just walking away with this one. And I think that, I don't see much changing at the moment. It's just a case where they're trying to make these trades. The trades are going poorly, and in the end,
yeah, it just didn't work out.
This tier 1 is still staying. They still have not picked up the second tier 2 in this game so far.
Yeah, it's just really hard, especially if your Meepo, you get your 1-1, and then you get 2-2, and then suddenly you're not getting any more kills while trying to almost get away. That was really close. I think if Scarnet had a blink dagger or something, it would have been Hunter's death. But yeah, that's situational.
So, okay. Let's find some positives. This one's gonna, let's take a quick peek at the items. Anything that's, other than, there's just nothing here, man. It's like the Hurricane Pike. That's what they're using to fight back with at the moment. The blink dagger on the Meepo.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because you're relying on Meepo, but your mid hero is falling behind, little by little. And then Jopper had a really difficult early game, and as a Centaur, it's hard to farm up a bit afterwards. But he's getting somewhere. He's trying to get the creeps pulled, but I think that's for xTc. I mean, for TKC actually, but whew, difficult situation.
Yeah, so I guess a bit of a silence has fallen over the battlefield whilst xTc enjoy their lead. The net worth of the Necrophos way higher than everybody else. He looks like he's heading towards, well, every item he wants right about now. I just, it's reaching a point that they're starting to stock up on the utility items they need. And, I mean, I guess, if you think about the perfect possible team fight coming out from the side of xD, it's probably still not enough because the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, he's the Winter Wyvern. That's
he just is a get out of jail free card. Yes, sure, you got the Science Alpha that you can potentially bring somebody down, but if you pick up the 1 kill, he probably just turns around, bails out his team from the fight, and once he picks up the like of the Yules, it's even worse. But I hear this into war around ulti. I'm trying to find a way.
Yeah, he's at the top lane.
He's trying to get away.
Get there.
The Deppy probably gets him anyway. He's got the blink dagger available. Blink after 1 more death pulse. That'll be enough. Jumper brought down. Oh!
Wow.
Oh please, just make this work somehow. Jumper, you need to survive this. It would be so good. He's still going. Jumper! Are you kidding me? Rock Lee, you absolute beauty. That man has no business being alive right about now. And that's the kind of play that I gotta say, just lifts your spirits a bit. But Fury, he's in trouble here. Okay, bring us back live, guys. The fight's still real.
It almost started, but Fury did go back into the tier 3 tower mid. But yeah, I mean, there would be a different story if Deppy actually went towards it. After throwing the first kill there, I think just let it chase. Okay, I've got this kill. No, really, Rock Lee's in. But if he chased, I think Deppy would have died from there because the xTc guys or the xDee guys were ready to take on one hero. Dota dies in trouble potentially with a smoke here from Rock Lee and his friends in the bottom river.
Now, can they turn things around? Just walk straight back into Fury. They're going to try TP out, but caught up by Japa immediately and just absolutely hammered down in the big axe. Japa takes revenge. The man who should be dead secures that kill. I mean, that's the kind of moment you need, right?
Yep.
You're behind, you're suffering, suddenly you have a Necrophos wondering what just happened. And the team must have gotten behind that. It was a good play for bottom lane. They could get another one. Skarnet caught out here by Hunter. He's going to get netted up, going to try to get out of harm's way, but he should be fine. Even Hunter knows it. He's going to start keeping up. Oh, don't you dare. Yes. Managed to TP out of harm's way as well. Get back onto the right side of the field.
I think it would have been different if Deppy actually got the kill afterwards and it'd be like, hey, let's start going for more kills. But right now, they're being pressed by xDee. Like, for example, Dota and Does Clockwork was overextended. I think, yeah, he tried to put on the ward by the just above the secret shop, but otherwise, with that, getting a free kill for xDee was huge right now because every kill would count. I mean, as you said, if they're suffering, go for the weaker heroes of xTc. Try to take off the supports, the Clockwork for instance, and then try to work out from there because, as we mentioned earlier, the Winter Wyvern is not going to die. This one hero that counts as most of xDee.
Okay, let's see where this all goes to at the moment. But we are about 25 minutes, an 11k net worth lead. That's a big one. I mean,
it's huge.
It's actually 12 at the moment. Oh, they're going to catch out Rocky as well. They open up with the Reaper. He survives the initial one. That's pretty useful though. He will not be dead for quite as long as he could have been. But Deppy, godlike, just destroying the xDee hopes and dreams right about now. I mean, if you look at that scoreboard at the moment, he's sitting on a pretty impressive, why can't I find him? There you go, 904. The 4 assists as well. Yeah. Fantastic at the office for Deppy.
And they're going for the Roshan as well. So with Addiston picking that up, it's going to be a tough one. I think with Deppy's cheese, it's going to be so OP after this. And 25 minutes in, you're expected Amiibo to be, at least out farming, getting the second Roshan, maybe getting farmed up, getting more than what he has. But no, this is exactly the opposite. And now even Addiston is ahead of Meepo's net worth.
I mean, Hunter, he's finding farm. Looks like he's going for the Scythe of Ice, but even then, just to what end? He just feels like he needs so much more. And now Roshan down as well. Could be the beginning of the end.
What are we going to do after this though? I mean, Addiston is probably hungry for some more kills, and he has the ages there as well. So with the supports going up there, I think Deppy spots out 1 or 2 heroes here in the mid lane, Fury and Rock Lee. The 2 supports shouldn't be overextending, actually heading back as we speak. So they're pretty safe for now. I think Deppy just showing himself baiting and saying, hey, I'm here, I'm alone. I don't think that the Dire knows that they don't have enough wards in their own jungle to spot out anything. So I'm just going to play around there for a while.
I mean, does manage to go up the bot lane and dissuade Hunter from any further aggression. But I think that's the thing as well, because of this Blink Dagger, he's actually really good at just catching out a Meepo. Yeah. And I think that's something we didn't discuss too much about during the drafting phase, that a lot of people, they see a Meepo and think, cool, Earthshaker, right? But actually single target damage is also very, very effective against Meepo, if not better. So you can just single one out and get rid of it. Yeah. The rest all things that just take advantage of the fact that there's an additional unit on the field. Doom Bunny getting caught out here. They're going to commit the Viper strike. He actually tosses out his LT as well, trying to draw that Viper back in, but in the end, will just be a very, very dead Winter Wyvern. But once again, these are very small victories. They need bigger ones than this if they want to come back into this game.
Yeah, and I think that the xTc team really needs to start getting some wards, getting some dust just to spot out TKC's Viper since he got his Shadow Blade. And with that, I think taking out the Viper is more important for now, until, you know, let's say Hunter's still behind right now, he's still able to get killed easily, but without killing the Viper, you aren't allowed.
Oh, they're going to catch out Rockley again. This time, he will go down to Deppy. Once again, actually not under the Reaper's side. So he's surviving that at least. Like, well, then you'll be alive to be killed off by Deppy sooner. But, you know, I'm not actually sure. We may have missed the start. He actually has ulti up, so it wasn't a swap. He was just caught out again. The blink dagger will work out very well. They're going to catch out a bigger fish though. He gets 4 stars back. May have been the Hurricane Pike. Was the Hurricane Pike. Scarnet. A lot of work actually being done here by TKC, slowing down a lot of these heroes, but they're going to force out the glyph. Adestam is looking very menacing on the front line. He does not care. And where's this Meepo? It's got to be now. This is your moment for glory. The thing that justifies this pick. Because right now you're in trouble. Nice attempt to dodge that with the man. Will at least get delusions out. But once again, this tier 3 tower will fall in the end. And TKC going to work in Adestam. He's got that Aegis.
And uses it.
Yeah, but he loses it. But he managed to get forced off away. If he had died up on the high ground, it would have been so much worse because they could have potentially got the second one. Now it's just round 2. They go back in. Adestam sets its sights to this ranged barracks. TKC wants to try deal with them, but it's just like a frustrating lineup coming out from the boys XC. Jumper, beautiful stun action on the high ground. They want to bring him back out. They're going to toss through a couple of nets as Rock Lee and friends all say goodbye. Not great timing on the LT in the end.
It's like we should fight. No, Adestam says we should leave. It's a bit of a miscommunication over there.
See, that's the problem, right? So you get what you came for. You get the range racks. You toss out the Winter Wave and LT, and everyone gets a free ride home.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like absolutely nothing. And look at the amount of Lotus Orbs on this team right about now. With 3 up, it's just... How do you engage? What do you do? They're just in such a commanding position at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty dirty. I mean, with that, I think they can win any team fight from now. I mean, although they lost the Aegis from the Troll Warlord, like now they're trying to smoke up, trying to get the spot of 1 or 2 dire side guys. But right now, Hans is the only one in jungle. But my mistake, Jaffa's with him as well. Could be in trouble. Yeah, I think they know. Yeah, with the dire ward being up there by the top river where the rune is.
So let's ask a question, right? Should xDee fall in this matchup, which it looks likely that they're going to. They are 16k behind right now. What does it do for their confidence going through this tournament? Hold on. Okay, the pause is there.
Yeah. So I think it's right now. I can't say that they have lost yet. I mean, Pulse and APG had a very big difference on their net worth as well. And with that, I think that the Meepo can still turn it around. Although it's unlikely, but with that going, I think even now, if they lose this one, they'll be like, okay, let's just have a talk. It's a best of 3 from now, and then just move on slowly from there. And but with that, I can't guarantee they'll pick up a Meepo ever again.
Yeah, it just hasn't been the start that they've really been looking for. I mean,
yeah,
to the tournament, of course. So, I mean, we are back live, fortunately, as Winter Wave tosses out a couple of Splinter Blasts, but. I mean, that's the thing. Let's talk a little bit about xDee as a lineup. They started out right at the bottom. They've then progressed to beat the likes of Bravado in actual tournament structure. And beyond that, they've just always improved. They've always gone with 1 up, right? They've gone up from 7-8 to 5th and 6th.
Yeah. Slowly.
Just they've always been progressing. They've always come 1 higher up. And this was the event that I pegged that they would be able to break the xTc roadblock. And right now, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that. It looks like xTc are firm favorites. It's xTc's game to lose here, without a doubt.
Yeah, this is pretty much unfortunate that to be lined up against xTc first. I think if they've had to play against each other.
This could be huge. They're going to go on Hunter. What they don't know is he's got a lot of friends here. Can they finish it off? They're going to silence our Deppy. Hunter, he can still be brought down. He's so low, but he survives the time being. He gets the friends come through, and Scarlet brings the cavalry, and Jupper and Rockley are left to ruin as they will finally fall. That is 3-0 as xTc rumble on. And there is still just no answer. It was everything they needed. That's why you picked Pit Lord. Let's take another look at that, please, as they go forward here to potentially bring down this Rax.
Yeah, that was a really tough one. I mean, Adestam being there as well was so crucial towards it. As you saw, Deppy tried to get that ulti in, the site didn't kill Hunter's Meepo, but eventually with the DPS being there, xTc did great work to clean him out, and right now it's so difficult. A buyback was forced from Hunter, and then still, there's only 3 heroes on the map for xDee. It's going to be a difficult one to defend.
Oh, Adestam, beautiful. Just on the front lines, he's loaded up. Is he going to load us again? They just tickle him at the moment.
He doesn't care.
He just ignores TKC in totality. And he
Oh,
gets
there's a
dropped
swap.
out. Ignore that, they say. Jumper goes back in on him. Adestam forced off back. Also has the cold embrace. He's going to be fine. The cogs are out there to help out their buddy. The person who goes down in the end is Jumper. And now Rock Lee wants out. They say no. TKC wants to Shadowblade away. Fury on the back line will be caught out as well. Hunter, this is his buyback. If Hunter falls here, this is GG. And he does fall here. And the buyback comes up from Fury, but there's just nothing left. TKC lost hurrah as he finally falls to Deppy Zora. This is game the GG's called. And in the end, xTc make it look easy.
That was unfortunate from xDee. I mean, picking up the Meepo for the first time, the hype was up, but they did it for the fans nonetheless. It was a great match. Early game didn't work out, and then they just fell through. If Hunter, like his net worth was up there, but the rest of the team was just falling behind, and that didn't work out well for the team.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've been waiting for this Hunter Meepo for so long, and in the end, kinda underwhelming, man. But not out yet. There's still an opportunity for this side to come back, and they're in BO3s now, right? So if they want to use interesting strats, they can use interesting strats.
By all
They've got
means.
to do it 3 in a row now, not just one cheesy one.
Yeah, no, they have still a long way to go, potentially. But really, I think it's going to be an exciting road. They're going to have to face, I think, Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a tough one, but they're going to need to try.
That is a rough winners, like lower bracket round one. But anyways, right, enough from us, guys. Let's send it over to Gareth, the Gareth Woods. Let us hear your thoughts on that one.
Thanks a lot, Halberd. And yes, first blood in the Battle of the X's going to xTc. We saw that bit of a pocket strat coming from Hunter and his Meepo, but easily countered there, it seems, by the guys from xTc with that Winter Wyvern. But that's just my take on the game. Let's hear what our expert panel has to say. Over to you guys.
Thank you, Gareth. And yep, he pretty much sums it up. There it is, Winter Wyvern playing such a key role in this game.
It actually feels like everything in that game was good against Meepo.
Yeah.
Like the only hero that didn't really do as well as I thought it might do was the Troll Warlord, but everything else was really good. The Winter Wyvern was exceptional. The Clockwork with Battery Assault and the Power Cogs, we did really well versus the Meepo. The Necro almost destroyed the Meepo multiple times. So it was like, oh, okay, this is the Meepo strat, but this is this is what happens when you pick Meepo strat, the double-edged sword. It hurts you as well because they couldn't do anything with that Meepo. They themselves, like we were talking about how they're trying to bait xTc into a bad Meepo position, but it looked like xDee drafted themselves into a bad Meepo position because when Meepo wasn't doing well, they didn't have any other heroes that they could rely on to come back and win the game. Viper is not the hero that's going to do that for you. So if Meepo is not winning you the game, it can end up costing you the game.
I mean, like Dota and I had just a disgusting mana farm and a Clockwork.
Yeah.
And it's not just that, it's also the item choices. They all went for Lotus Orbs, mass Lotus Orbs. I mean, once Meepo initiates on you, all you do is Lotus Orb and you can run away again. And it's also due to the fact that, I mean, like you said, Viper. Why give TKC a Viper? If you're going to have a Meepo and you're going to have all the odds stacked against you, you're going to have to draft him with something that he can kind of control the game by himself until you come online. Viper's not the hero to do that.
Probably should have had Queen of Pain.
Something,
like Lina, Storm.
Something like that.
You got set on that Queen of Pain.
I'm not sure if people will pick it though. Like it used to be a lot better than it is right now. It's like towards the end of 7.05 and the beginning of 7.06. Now it's like it's been nerfed enough that it's just strong now. It's not like OP, so people probably won't pick it every game. Yeah. But I still would have liked to see TKC on a hero that he can do something with.
Yeah.
It feels like even the way like the hero that they drafted for Rock Lee, it was. I mean, Venge is good. It can get you some key saves, right? But it's only good in like very limited situations. Like the only really amazing thing that we saw come out of them with that Venge was that really cool swap.
Really cool
to
swap.
save Japa. That was amazing.
And then the courier with the little infused raindrop, and it was a good play. But I mean, it just didn't have the impact that they wanted it to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so a little bird tells me that the winning team has got a few words for us. Why don't we patch on into our boy in the back there, our MC Gareth Woods. Let us know what's going on.
I'm still trying to.
Thanks a lot, panel. I'm here with Dennis, who would be fairly happy with what is, at the end, a fairly straightforward match.
Yeah, I think we took it pretty handedly. They gave up a good show, but I think we pulled out through stronger in the end, yeah.
So we spoke about the strength of potential pocket strats in the sort of BO1 arena. Obviously, they tried their hand with the Meepo. Perhaps baiting it out a little bit early with that Earthshaker ban? Because, I mean, you guys had that Winter Wyvern. I don't think anyone has clicked a Winter Wyvern faster in terms of response to a Meepo.
Yeah, it's actually quite funny. Initially, we were thinking, no, let's just ban the Meepo. There's no reason to give it to him. I mean, he is a decent Meepo. So. And then as we got into the draft, we'd been planning this the whole week throughout our boot camp, and as we got into the draft, we were like, you know what, let's just leave the Meepo. He was like trash talking it earlier, so let's just show them what we got. And yeah, they banned out the Earthshaker and they left in the Wyvern. It was pretty straightforward.
In terms of revealing anything yourself, obviously we've once again spoken about the strength of BO1 pocket strats. Have you guys revealed anything about your playstyle, or leaving a little bit close to the chest as we move forward?
I think what we drafted was quite in the meta. No, I don't think it really showed much. We've drafted this throughout like the arena season and all our other seasons as well, previous seasons. So it's just what we're good at.
Awesome. Well, there we have it from the xTc captain, not showing too much of their hand as we move forward into the winners bracket later stages. But over back to the panel.
Right, and that was Dota and Die, who did more Dota than dying this time round. Yep. And one hell of a captain. I've met the guy. Such a nice guy to get to know.
Oh, he won that game.
He's the captain of the mercenaries here.
Yeah, he is. He behaves like a mercenary. He was the entire game. They sent him the on a mission. They're like, "Dude, disrupt Meepo." And he said, "Sure," and he did it. And he did it magnificently. Like that. That support clockwork created so many problems for them, for xDee to deal with. There was a stage in the game where he was like nearly doubling up the Sentinel's amount of farm, and you're like, oh, what are you supposed to do in this situation where the support clockwork is basically a corner, and he's running around the map. Like, he'd get into situations where to save his team, he would jump in, power cogs, force everybody else back, and then hook shot out to safety. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, if he was an offlane clockwork, he might not have felt so, like, energized to do those kind of moves, but because he's a support, he doesn't care about his own life, even though he's getting a ton of gold in the process. So I think the responsibilities between him, Doom Bunny, between how responsible they were for the game, but really he did win the game, I think, for them. Yeah.
And it's also due to the fact that nothing seems to be going right for the side of xDee this time around. And they did numerous times during that game TP out like this inch away from dying, or that, like, just the one where the Underlord literally had the Pits of Malice, literally just about that screen. But they got away with murder. They TP'd out when they should have actually killed and died there. So it's just like they just got away with things they shouldn't have gotten away with. And xDee just, they literally didn't have a way to come back.
Yeah. Well, on the subject of people getting away with things, let's see what Ryan has been getting away with in the backstage arena. Check this out.